the Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union and Bethel Universities, USJ, TCA, JCS, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to the sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the greatest high school show there is, the most electrifying and informative show there is, the Jackson Christian Eagle Show. Of course, we always have the coaches and my two comrades to start the show off with, Coach Brian Bullard and head coach Darby Palmer here. We've got a very special surprise, a young man that you will want to hear who is also a coach, businessman, and everything else. A former Titan, former University of Kentucky player, Avery Williamson, will be with us tonight, and then three of the finest young men coming off of a big victory that we had over a good Fayette Academy team. A lot of people underestimated Fayette Academy, but our Eagles didn't, Darby.
Oh, yes, sir. And it's one of those games where our guys, very proud of them, keeping their focus and executing. Yeah, we had a few busts, but that's always going to happen. And you want that as a coach, to be able to bring them back in, show them film, show them the mistakes we made, and continue to get better each day.
Absolutely. This is toughest district or region, actually. I'm still with, shows you how old I am. They had, once upon a time, had districts with football, but region, we've got, three undefeated teams. We've got tough teams. There are no weak sisters in this league.
No, there's not, and they're all well coached. And so they all do a different thing offensively that puts stresses on the defense, and it's our guys that to focus each day in practice and play alignment assignment football defensively.
And we got some good contributions, and Coach Bull, the line, doing it again. I believe our two guards get better and better. Tristan is going to be solid like a rock over there at left tackle, and it doesn't matter who we have at right tackle. Both those young men doing a great job, and I know the backs have to appreciate those guys.
They do, and you talked about our right tackle and Hunter Waldrop, and if you watched Easton be shot out of a cannon there on his touchdown run, that wouldn't have happened if Hunter didn't fit up on that linebacker and spring him there. So, I mean, you go across and you talk about the guards and talk about Tristan, and a lot of those offensive linemen don't get a lot of publicity, and that's okay with them. They're okay with that. They embrace their role. We rushed for 192 yards on 18 attempts and 3 touchdowns. And, you know, we had the 2 running backs on last week, and they talked about how much they appreciate them. And those guys just work hard. And we'll talk to one of those guards this evening. But another good effort on the ground from our guys.
Well, defensive line did some great things too, and we don't want to leave them out. But we're going to talk to one of them tonight, and he does a lot of policing up there. We got to play a lot of people, and everybody contributed. One of our guests tonight, Everett Scott, Blake Rowland contributed. These are young men you don't hear about necessarily on offense. Maybe they're playing a strong safety or free safety like Blake does. What about the contribution? Everybody contributed somewhere.
Absolutely, and you love those program wins because you get to see the backbone of the program where guys come up through our program and get those reps and on Friday nights. And we were excited to get a lot of people in and a lot of people in roles that they don't get to play a lot on Friday nights, but they deserve the opportunity to. And that was awesome to get them out there, and they were able to shine in those moments.
And, of course, I love to watch Coach. I have to remember not to watch Coach. One of the most motivational human beings over there. He's always pumping people up and excited, and you know, those type things make the game good. Now, there's something that somebody asked me about. They wanted me to ask you, too, about. I know the answer. And, yes, it's true, and I had to tell them this, but at Jackson Christian, athletics is more than a game. They said, we saw that on y'all's website. Is it really more than a game? I know the answer, yes, but I want you guys to talk about that.
Absolutely. You know, our school motto is family, and then within the football program, it stands for Forget About Me, I Love You, and trying to empower our guys each and every day to love, serve, and care more for each other, to go out of their way to help their teammates, but also it's a testament to the amount of guys that we have back each night. I know last week was homecoming, and it was great seeing former players there. former students coming out and supporting and just wanting to be a part of the Jackson Christian community.
Absolutely. Coach Bull, I'm going to let you kind of take the bull by the horns, if you pardon that expression. We had noteworthy performances. We had homecoming royalty, and I thought our new president did a great job out there crowning the queen, and everything was right. I'll let you lead the discussion about that.
Yeah, you always, as a staff, and this is my 10th year coaching football, and when I first started, I was like, homecoming, this is going to be awesome. And then as you kind of figure out what all comes with it and what that entails with the activities throughout the week, and you got points being scored for different grades, and it gets a little tense. Everybody wants to win and all those things, but this group did a great job. I challenged them. I think it was on Thursday. I challenged them that when that pep rally's over on Friday and you're getting ready to go down to the field house, you got to flip that switch to football. And ultimately, everything else is great. Powder puff's great. All the dressing up is great. But people remember that football game too. And so we want to make sure that we don't forget the main thing, which is we have an opportunity to go play, and we want to take advantage of that opportunity and don't ever let one of those slip away. And our guys from the start, we didn't have to worry about whether they were focused or not. The locker room was the same. The warm-up was the same. Everything seemed to be going well, and they responded. And so that's all you can ask for as a coaching staff, and we're proud of our guys and their effort.
They came out focused. I have to do this. My sensei, when I took martial arts, would do this to teach you to focus. You could see the look in your kids' eyes, and we scored the first time we had the football, and there was not any doubt about we were going to score the first time. Noteworthy performances. We had a bunch of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Austin Kelly, 14 of 18, 343 and 5 touchdowns. Another good night, great night for him. Brings him to almost 1,300 yards passing, 15 total touchdowns on the season. Jay, again, 6 receptions, 201 and 3 touchdowns. He's coming up on some individual records there that we're excited about. And he's coming up on the yards and coming up on the touchdowns. And so, if he just continues to do what God has blessed him with and use his talent and ability to continue to produce, those things will take care of themselves. We talked about this earlier, rushing for 192 yards, 18 attempts. And then Caleb Newsom picked up his 13th career sack. And the best part of Caleb is he'll put a quarterback on the ground, and then he'll just jog off the field and not change the expression. And so he makes a lot of plays for our defense, and we're glad that dude's on our side.
Hey, amen.
Absolutely.
Coach, what do we need to know about this week coming up? And then Coach Bullard and I will finish it off. But first of all, do we have a elementary or middle school game tonight?
Middle school's playing right now at USJ, and last update I got, USJ is up 6-0, but we just intercepted a pass and had a long run, so we're inside the 20 with 3 minutes left. So hopefully our guys can score and get the 2-point conversion and maybe come out of there with a win.
And I believe we've got a big game coming up Thursday night with the middle school.
Our middle school team, it's 8th grade night, and they're going to host West Carroll.
And we're going to put it on the stream.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Soccer senior night going on right now over at the field, and so honoring 6 seniors, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And those girls have come up through that program and done a great job year after year with Coach Golden.
I saw where they won a couple of big games lately too against some fine competition.
Yeah, we can hit on that while we're talking about it, Coach. They beat TRA 5-2 recently when Taylor Payne's scoring 5 goals. I say that's pretty good.
Yeah. The volleyball keeps getting better, the high school volleyball team. And what were we, 2 years old? Mm-hmm. And last year was more like a trial year, and we kind of played at it and we worked at it. And the soccer, of course, you just mentioned doing well. Middle school cross country running well.
Yeah, those kids work hard, and you see them out there in the heat, just like we're out there. And we had them 4 runners, finished in the top 25. Nate Robertson, Jacob Blankenship, Kinsey Moore, and Hadley Fowler. And we hope that they continue to do that to build that program, that high school program, back up as well too.
Absolutely. Darby, tough opponent coming up. They come in undefeated. We're at their house. Your thoughts on that before we take our first break?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, traveling for our first region opponent on the road. You know, their offense, I think we hit on this off air, single wing offense. So they're going to try to control the time of possession, limit us offensively and what we can do. We got to come out and play alignment assignment football. They're well coached, and they got some really good athletes, especially that they're going to try to get the ball to running back wise on offense.
Yeah, Delmonico and the two full ones especially.
That's right.
It's not Delmonico, it's DeLuca. I'll get his name right. You'll know him when you see him, folks. Darby, anything else we need to say before we take this break?
You know, we keep getting better each and every game, and our guys are staying focused on the now, not worrying about the past, or really not focusing on the future, but doing a great job of staying in the moment. And we're excited about this group. They're hardworking guys, and they believe in bringing their best every day. And we're excited about this Friday night and the opportunity that we have.
Absolutely. From the Hub City Deli, Jackson Christian Facebook page and Worthy Road Studios brings you, like I said, with these two gentlemen and who we bring every week, the best high school show in America. We'll be back after these important messages.
Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction. Located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson. We specialize in teen sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour, and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your teen sports. You can email or call us for all your teen sports needs. Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction.
And, folks, this show just keeps getting bigger and better. No, not Coach Buller and I getting bigger and better, but the people we have on here, one of the finest young men I know, forget that he played in the NFL, which is important. Forget that he played at the University of Kentucky. His off-field actions, the charities, and the different programs he works with. He was an all-stater at Milan High School. He did play for the University of Kentucky, and he likes that blue color too. Then he played with the Titans and played in the NFL, but like I said, this is a great American who does things for people. And Coach Bullard, our tradition, he's going to start off with you. But Avery Williamson is here. I'm just glad he's here, and he's going to be back on radio with Bill and Jimmy and I sometime.
Absolutely, Coach Williamson. Coach Avery, as the kids like to call him. Thank you so much for being with us tonight here at Hub City. I just want to start off by I'll let Coach kind of talk to you
I
about.
know we're on camera.
Yeah, you're on there. You're on there. All right,
okay.
You better straighten up.
Yeah, I was slouching down, watching the game.
That's funny. No, you're on camera. There you go.
All right.
So I want to talk a little bit about you played high school football and had a great career. What is it like? And I heard you say this the very first Friday we went out there, and it was just a scrimmage. And you were kind of talking to yourself, but talking out loud, talking about high school football, being back out there. What has that been like for you now to be on the sideline on the other side of that?
It's honestly been a lot more fun than I was expecting. When I first started coaching with y'all, Coach Palmer, he was asking, just kind of figure out my schedule. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll do like 2 days out of the week, and I'm not gonna have time for the games. And once I got there, kind of started getting to know the guys and getting familiar with the coaches. Maybe got through like a 7-on-7. I was like, Coach, it ain't no way I'm gonna be able to stay away from on Friday nights. Like, this is, what I'm saying, I can't wait to see how it's gonna be. So it's definitely been a lot more fun than I was expecting. I always told myself I wasn't gonna coach, had no ambition to coach, but it's definitely been an outlet for me to get back into the game. And I hadn't been around the locker room since 2021. So it's kind of definitely a void, that was just, left. You leave a locker room. I didn't know it was going to be my last year playing. And so it's a little different age group, a lot more immature, but it's definitely – it's still the same talk, the same, energy, the same vibes, a little more smelly.
That's
the
right.
High school kids, they don't shower, but it's definitely cool. I'm really enjoying it. We're having a really good year so far. That makes it even better.
So you played linebacker, and you're coaching our linebackers, and talk about the relationships that you have built with some of those young guys, and what is your style? Are you trying to coach the way you were coached? Are you just trying to share knowledge with these guys and give them kind of what you were given coming up and then in the NFL?
Yeah, the relationship has definitely grown. The first time actually meeting those guys was when I had my linebacker camp at JCS, and I met a few of them and got to coach them up. So that was my first experience, and then coming back later on in the summer, definitely started to kind of develop and get to know the guys a lot more, and just it's fun to really tell them something, and then you see them go out there and do it. And I'm focused on the middle linebackers, but I do tell the other guys, here and there sparingly. But it's fun coaching Kai right now. He's really playing lights out, and it's so awesome. I'll tell him. I remember we were playing good pass. I was like, hey, you got to get over this block. You got to do this. And I said the play's gonna be right there, and boom. Next thing you know, he goes out there and does it. That's really electrifying, to see him actually take it in, soak it in, and go out there and do it.
So I'm going to go one more, Coach Joe, and then I'll let you go. I've had some fans and some parents talk about your electricity on the sideline. They like to see you down there getting the fans engaged and getting our guys fired up. And is that just how you played? Is that your passion? Is that you can't really take that out, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just me. I mean, we having a good game on Titan Stadium. I'm standing up on the bench, hey, let's go. It's just that's just the energy. Even though I'm coaching, I'm still want that electricity going through the players and the fans. So that's just me. I think it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach Joe.
Let's go back a little bit. Never say never. I'm going to tell you that about.
Never.
Would you? I'm going to ask you this because I've been charged by some people that. Have you ever considered being a head coach in the future? Now, I know right now you're a businessman. You're doing all kinds of wonderful work. You're working with our kids, and I know Kai loves you to death. But have you ever considered the possibility of being a head coach?
I have not.
Okay, you're not going to do it. Watch the adrenaline get hold of this young man.
I always say I do not. It's just I feel like it would be too much pressure, but never say never. I did not think I was going to be back here. I did not think I was going to be coaching. So that's two things that I said would never happen.
Well, I'm going to encourage you. I'd rather play for you than Coach Prime, and nothing against Neon.
Oh, really?
Dion.
Okay.
No. I can wear the bling and stuff too, just like he does. But you have a good grip on the game. You get excited. You lead cheers. In high school, you played for a great program. Is there anything you learned from your high school career that you're teaching these young men?
I would just say the biggest thing is I mean, it's a lot. You try to teach them the technique, the fundamentals, but just also just telling them just to kind of like the life skills, just from treating people with respect, enjoying the moment of being out there with your brothers. A lot of guys, aren't going to be playing football at the next level. I'm just trying to think of what else. And, I mean, I also just try to show them things that I didn't realize when I was, playing. Just it's the little things that can help you become a better player, things that I wouldn't have even thought of. But it's more than just – I think it's more than just football. It's kind of just talking to the guys about stuff that, just affects daily life. See a kid struggling, hey, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Sometimes we get so busy, wrapped up in the sport, that we don't even take the time to just, hey, ask a kid what's going on. So I'm kind of just doing football and just kind of trying to help the guys out as well mentally on that side.
And that award-winning smile and energy he's got does help out a lot. I got to squeeze a couple of quick questions in. Is there anything from the pros that you can impart? I know that you tell kids to be the best they can be, but not everybody's going to be an NFL linebacker like you.
I realized that week one. When I was out there, I said I got to realize, hey, everybody's not going to go to the NFL. Not a lot of some of them, hey, they just want to be on the team. But I would say what I can bring that knowledge from the NFL is that, each play, it does matter. Carry yourself with professionalism. Even though you're in high school, you don't know who's watching. I tell them every day was a test. Every day was a test. It's a chance to lose your job. You never know what's going to happen. And like I was telling one of the guys, I was trying to tell him, he got upset during the game. I'm like, hey, nobody cares about your feelings. Only thing you can control is what you can control. You go do what you got to do on the field, and the rest is going to take care of itself. I don't care if this happens to that guy. You do this. Control what you can control, and the rest takes care of itself. And, that's something that, as a professional, you have to make sure that you are doing every day. Don't worry about the rest. Worry about yourself.
And you heard it from a fine young man that could have been a great teacher. He could be a great head coach if he wants to be, and he is a star already as a coach. His kids love him. The team loves him. Broadcaster kind of loves him too. And we are glad. Avery, thank you for being by, but I'm going to hold you to it. Don't run off real quick, because right after we go to break, I got something to ask you, because I'm the man that controls that other. Coach Bullard's here. Coach Holloway's here. You just heard Avery Williamson, and please go back and listen to the words he just spoke on. Those were words of wisdom. We're at Hub City Deli with the best high school football show in America. We'll be back after this important timeout. Had an accident and in need of repairs? If you're being towed, make sure the driver knows where to take it. David White Body Shop, to expedite the repair process. David White Body Shop has been in business over 42 years. They have factory-trained certified technicians, and they are a direct repair shop for most insurance companies. They make sure your vehicle is repaired to manufacturer's recommendations. Always insist on the professionals at David White Body Shop. And we are back, and the only thing that Ty Smith has ever done wrong in his life, he forgot to bring me his sheet back, but that's okay. They got it.
There we go.
Big Cedric's going to take care of you. Now, as we always do with our young men, but Ty Smith and I've talked to him after games. He and I had a nice conversation after the Good Pasture game. This young man, I've watched him for 2 years. He was all-region last year, and he's become not a good blocker. He's become a great blocker. Wished I'd had him out in front of me, and I might not have had one of my knee surgeries if I'd had him to block for me. But, Coach, as we always do, I'm going to let you have Ty first, and then I get to ask him all the fun questions.
Yes, sir. Ty Smith here with us tonight. Ty, thank you so much for being with us, and you're following a tough act there with Coach Avery, but we're excited to have you. And, with an offensive lineman, you don't have a ton of stats to run through, but these are the stats. Ty is part of an offensive line that has helped rush for 778 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 155, averaging 155 rushing yards per game, and contributing to almost 2,100 yards of total offense. Ty, senior year, and you anchor an offensive line with a couple other seniors. Give me your midseason, halfway through take so far on our football team.
Coach, I am so proud of not just the line, just the whole team. Like, starting from spring ball to now, it's a complete 180. Like, the chemistry that we have with the whole team. I can go up to anyone on the team right now and just have a conversation and don't even have to think about it. And with this O-line, during spring, we got in there, the weightlifting, and it was just incredible seeing how hard that we worked and how all the seniors were like, man, this year's going to be great. Everyone was just working so hard, and I'm so proud of everybody.
So you and Eli come back from last year, a team that makes it to the semifinals, and so you add Tristan. I'm going to go in order. Tristan, Hudson, and Eli, and then you got yourself, and then Hunter on the right side. I believe I got that right.
Yes, Tristan on the left side. You got the rookie with you.
That's right. You got a fresh, young guy, sophomore out there. So you bring three new guys in. What does that that speak to Coach Reichert and Coach Gillum and you guys putting in the work in the off season? And was it just a watch us work and how we do it mentality, or was it having conversations, and how did you get these guys up to speed along with some young guys that can play too if we need them to come in?
Yes, sir. One thing that I really loved was they weren't afraid to ask questions. Like, it got, I believe it was week 1, and Hudson came up to me and was like, hey, I know that I'm supposed to wrap, but if I see this hole open up between the tight end and the tackle, do I shoot that? I'm like, oh, yeah, you can shoot that. He said, your running back's going to follow you. And the next play, he saw it, struck it. I was like, that's awesome.
And Hudson's a senior, but Hudson's a guy that had to sit out. We got him late last year, so he is a guy that's still getting his feet wet on the offensive line and our scheme and all of those things. What was homecoming like, being a senior? What kind of emotions did you have, and was it what you expected and what you hoped for?
Man, it was something else. Because compared to last year as a junior, homecoming was like, okay, yeah, it's a big game, but now I'm a senior. It's like my last one, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
The energy was there. Everyone was locked in, ready to go. It was just incredible. That's all I can say about it.
Absolutely, Coach Joe.
Let's go to some of the fun stuff. Your favorite sports memory, and then I'm going to hit right after with your favorite Jackson Christian football moment. But what is your favorite? And I find it fascinating, and I like it too.
My favorite memory, and it's not even a memory, it's just my favorite thing here at Jackson Christian. It's just being in the trenches with my brothers and just fighting and just clawing and just doing everything we can to win. And it's beautiful because, like, if you pay attention on some nights, as soon as our offensive drive is done, we go sit on the bench, and Coach Rocker would come around with the tab and be like, here's what we can work on. It's like that. So fast. And then we're like, okay, we know what we need to fix. And then the next play, it's fixed.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
That and the lineman luau.
Oh, yeah.
Explain that. Everybody's waiting to hear what that is.
So this year for team bonding, we went to Coach Reichert's house and had a lineman luau, basically Hawaiian shirts and stuff. And me, Hudson, and Andrew Martin dressed up as luau dancers and showed up blasting the Pina Colada song, walking into Coach Reichert's house, and that was pretty funny.
Oh, absolutely. I got to ask this, since I know what your favorite food is, but did Coach Reichert have any of that? And if he didn't, tell folks what you love.
Man, I love sushi. Sushi is a all-around just – you can't go wrong with sushi. You can customize it. There's so many options out there. It's awesome.
Would you like them to serve it at lunch at Jackson Christian?
If they served that at lunch at Jackson Christian, I'd never go out to eat for senior lunch again.
And that's good stuff there. But what about your favorite Bible verse? And you've got a dandy. I love it, and it's taped on one of my notebooks that I look at every day.
I know it's really common, but it's Philippians 4:13. It's just before games, I'm always in my head, I'm getting myself ready, and I just keep telling myself that verse over and over and over again, and it calms me down, and I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. I say it every time before I walk out that door.
The Lord is always with us. You're right, too. He'll help us. Hobbies. You got two fascinating ones. I like both of them and wish I did more of your second hobby.
So fishing is one of them. Me and my dad go fishing all the time. I love my dad. We go fishing all the time. We are – it's just the bond that we have is just amazing, and I love my dad so much. And my second one is guitar. I play guitar really well. I can play a lot of –
Do you play in a band?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, then I got to get to your favorite band. And my buddy Seabass that I broadcast at WNWS with would love this. Tell them what your favorite band is.
My favorite band is Metallica.
The old stuff they do or the new stuff?
All
or
of
both?
it.
All of it. Okay, well, you've got about 30 to 45 seconds. It's your turn to tell all of our great Jackson Christian fans anything you want to tell them.
I am really thankful for all the support that y'all give us. Like, the energy in our football stadium, there's nothing like it. You can't go anywhere else and experience what we experience. Like, we have people cheering. We have moms getting up and starting their own chant in the stands, getting the whole crowd hyped up. It's just incredible, and I am so thankful for each and every one of y'all for coming out and support us.
You think you can keep Blake's mama, Candace, under control? She cheers. I hear. She was a point guard at Wayne County at one time. Yes,
Dang.
a very good one, too. And anyway, will you come by and visit Coach Bull and I on radio when we're doing basketball games some night?
Of course.
There we go, Coach Bull. Here he is, one of the finest young men. If you don't know him, seek him out, find him, watch him pull. Watch him pull now. His number 60 is the number. Watch him drop step and get out there and then turn up inside and create that seam for our runners. We're at Hub City Deli, and the action is just starting. It's going to get big here in a minute. It's going to get big, and you'll find out when we come back with the Jackson Eagle Show from Hub City Deli.
The best thing to order is when you are sitting at soccer practice, order it through your phone while you're sitting there, and then you go and pick it up.
But you're much more of a planner than me.
I am.
And that's what I love about you.
Yes.
You know, I'm not that prepared. It's more seat in my pants.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
And I told you things were fixing to get big, and they fixing to get really big. The man that occupies both A-gaps, not because of his size, because of his agility and stuff, and he is a big, big man. You've heard all those songs that they do in the past about big guys like Big John that opened up the mine when it had caved in on. This young man is extremely capable. He's hit the weight room hard. You couldn't ask for a better young man. And the smile he's got, I guarantee you, is a award-winning smile. And Coach Bull's going to talk a little football with him, and then I'm going to have fun with him.
Yes, sir. Cedric, man, thanks for being with us tonight and being patient and following some folks up. But we're so glad you're here. Let's get to some football. You're part of a defense and part of a defensive line that's one of the tighter groups of football players that I've seen in a while, and especially for at our program. And what relationships have you built with that defense, and what does that mean to in your life?
It really taught me at first to trust the process, because at first we were kind of a little odd about it, the new formation and stuff like that. But you see now, we're doing our job good.
So what you're talking about, going from four-man front that you played for 3 years to going to that odd front, and the reason is because guys like you and you being able to stay in the middle and do your job and occupy your gap and all those things. You got Gavin beside you, you got Caleb beside you, you got Kyle Wyatt that Coach Avery talked about. Said one of the things I love, and this is a guy we've spent a ton of time together, he and Coach Gillum, and it's a grind, isn't it? How hard is it to start in spring ball and go through all the summer just doing the same drills over and over and over again, everyday drills? We don't get the 7-on-7s. We don't get all the stuff that the skill guys, get to participate in. How do you get through that, and how do you get your teammates through that knowing the season is coming up?
Well, at first, we're all kind of like, we're doing this every day. We don't want to do this every day. Then it turns into, it actually works in game. And then we continue to do that, and we continue to build each other up off of it. So
you're talking about just the everyday drills, on the starting on the sled, going over to the bags and doing all those things over and over again. Said one of the things that I love to sit around and watch after games when everybody goes home and we put the film on is how hard, and this is my guy right here. This is my position. So if I sound like I'm a little proud, I am. So we get to sit around and watch you and Gavin and Caleb just get after it. And even if you don't make the play, doing your job and running to the football, and this is the best that I've seen you run to the football since you've been with us. What has changed for you, and how have you been able to make that happen?
Starting off, a lot of conditioning, and then a lot of weight loss too. At that,
and it's an everyday thing. And Coach, I'm about to give it to you, but this guy, when everybody's going home in the summer, he's getting on the bike, and so success is earned, and this guy sitting beside us here has earned every bit of it, and I'm proud of him and proud of those defensive linemen and our backups and all those people that get us through all those drills together.
I want to compliment him. And, Gary, I got to ask you, can you hear me? I cannot hear myself at all. And I do not know what has happened here. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. I got a little short there. Cedric, I compliment you. Your muscle has changed. You gained some serious muscle. Coach Irv's program is pretty good, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And let's get into some of the fun stuff. You can play offensive football on the line, but you have done a number playing defense there on you occupy the A gaps.
Yes,
we
sir.
used to call the zero gap right up the center, and I see those centers move backwards. They try to hit Cedric, and you move them back. What's the secret of controlling the A gaps on both sides?
Staying real disciplined. I love the bull rush, but sometimes I have to pop them and sit back.
And it's fun chasing quarterbacks. And last week, I almost felt sorry for Bowling, the Fayette Academy quarterback. But Big Cedric had him on the run. And let's talk about your favorite sports memory, any place, not just Jackson Christian, but it can be Jackson Christian.
Yes, sir. Well, growing up, me and my cousins, we played travel ball, and then we ended up actually playing at the same high school. Like, for example, Cam Boyd, Big Bennett, all of them. Yes, sir. We've been playing since we were little.
Now, is there any one thing at Jackson Christian that has stood out? You've had some big moments yourself, but team, individual moments in Jackson Christian football.
It's the closeness, the togetherness. It's like a family, a real family. Yes, sir.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, sir.
That is fun. And I know you've got to have a favorite school food and a favorite outside school food. What is it?
School food, I say chicken spaghetti.
Yeah. What do you like outside of school?
Outside, I really like steak.
I thought he was a steak man.
Yes, sir.
I had two choices, either steak or pizza. I said, no, my man Cedric, he's too much of a muscle man. He likes steak, and you do. Medium rare, or well done?
I say medium.
Medium.
Yes, sir.
Good man. Boy, I like this guy. Favorite Bible verse, Cedric?
It is Ecclesiastes 11:9-10.
And another good, all of our young men were good one. Are you playing any other sports?
I'm considering playing soccer this year.
Well, that's good.
I don't know yet right now.
You don't ever throw the shot or anything for our track team, do you? I believe you could.
I could.
I know you
if
could.
they want me to. Yes, sir.
You can do anything you want to. What about hobbies?
Hobbies, I love doing work with my granddad. He's a plumber. I love cutting grass, and I like to play my game.
Yeah, well, that's quality time, that part with your granddad. What about a fun fact? I like your fun fact. I know what it is, but you even got me to show out a while ago because of his fun fact. Tell them what it is.
I like all genres of music.
Yes, folks, and he even likes 60s music, and I had to do my little 60s disc jockey thing for him. Cedric, it's your turn to say anything you want to the great fans we got, and we got a lot of non-fans listening tonight.
I would like to thank the fans for supporting us, coming out, even doing things for the team, such as buying ice cream and things like that on Thursday. If the dad's cooking and grilling and stuff for us, team meals. Yes, sir.
Well, I want to thank you for being a fine young man. I'm going to keep up with you through the years here, and you make me proud. I know you will.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you have it. Another one of our fine guys in that front line. He and Gavin and Caleb. Holy cow, I don't want to be chased by those guys. We're at Hub City Deli. It's the Jackson Christian Eagle Show. We'll be back after this timeout. Whether you're relocating into Jackson or just wanting something new and different, call Kenny Sutherland with 5-Star Real Estate Services. He can help make your dreams become a reality. With over 20 years experience and helping over 1,000 families with their new home purchases, there's a reason that he is your new construction expert and home buying specialist. Call Kenny today direct at 731-444-1164 or 731-661-9000. Another great Jackson Eagles, Christian Eagles show tonight from here at Hub City Deli, Worthy Road Studios, bringing it to you on the Jackson Christian Facebook page. We've got our main man, and Coach Bull and I, neither one would know what to do without Gary. But here's a guy we wouldn't know what to do with. He's a senior. He contributes in many, many ways. He's always positive. He is not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the smallest guy. I'm going to go ahead and tell off on him. When he started the season, he was 5'10" and 160. He may not be 160 because everybody loses a little weight right now. But, boy, Coach Bullard, what a night he had the other night. He ran past people, around people, over people, and he had a great night. I'm going to let you have it.
Yes, sir. And Everett Scott is going to close us out tonight. And Everett, I have your numbers right here: 6 rushes, 71 yards, and a big touchdown. As the clock was winding down the other night, and you could feel the energy of folks, everybody in there wanting Everett to get that ball in the end zone. And I just want to ask you, just kind of the emotions you felt and what that meant to you.
Well, when I ran the ball into the end zone and I looked back and I saw everybody just like cheering and stuff, I was kind of shocked for a minute because I was like, whoa, I just got a touchdown. This is cool. Mm-hmm. And then that's when it hit me, and I was like, well, that's awesome. That's how a touchdown feels. And
you know, not just you got in and we're on the 5-yard, like you got us down there. And so, you know, Everett mentioned, Coach Joe, you mentioned being a senior, putting in a lot of time, putting in a lot of reps. You've had some guys in front of you that were really good. What have you picked up from maybe like a Cam Boyd or a Coach Irv, or what has prepared you for the moments that you're getting this year as a senior?
Well, a lot of it's from like Scout Team O, when I helped be part of the scout team all the time, and from Coach Riker telling me to get upfield, and then Coach Irv, and also a little bit of Campbell, my brother. He told me to run a certain way, and I started doing that, and that's what helps. So
if you watch and you didn't know one from the other, you see a little bit of Campbell out there, and his senior year, man, what a way to end his career offensively, and of course Graham was not a running back, but let's talk a little bit about Campbell, and he told you to run a certain way. He was there, right?
Yes, sir.
What did he say, and did y'all kind of share a moment after the game?
Well, in that moment when I got the touchdown and stuff, I didn't know, but he was crying and cheering me on and stuff. He was so excited. And then after the game, I was like, yeah, when I was running the ball, I thought, hey, Campbell does this, so I'm going to do this too. But I couldn't have done all that without the O-line. The O-line is great, especially Hudson Neubauer pulling.
Absolutely, and you had you mentioned your offensive line, and those are guys that you get reps with, and even JV games, you've gotten reps with them. And it was just awesome to see that moment. So JCM last night, we don't have the official numbers on that, but plenty of yards on the ground. Was that? Do you enjoy the JV games and getting to be out there with those guys?
Oh yeah, I love the JV games. Every rep that I can get, I try to make it count. And the JV games have helped me learn from my mistakes and then get better at them. So. Yeah.
And you mentioned something, Coach, that I'm gonna give it to you for his personal kind of questions there. But you mentioned something, Everett, that stuck out to me. You talked about getting scout team reps, and you know there was a year where, Coach, that a lot of times we won't have our running backs live just because it's practice and we don't want to get folks hurt. But there's times where you see Everett run, and Everett doesn't mind being hit, and when you can give our defense those kind of reps and that kind of look, it really does go a long way and helps prepare those guys. And it's not an easy thing. It's not a very fun thing sometimes, but this just the kind of kid that he is.
Well, I'm going to say this about Everett. I've known him from the broadcasting standpoint, and he's been at school a lot longer than I've been around. Even when you want him not running full speed, he's not trying to show off or anything. He's trying to help his team. And the Red Hat Crew's what we called our scout team, whatever name. And Everett always runs hard. He's going to get the lick on. He's got like that bull of a watch. He's going to take a licking but keep on ticking. And I love him to death. And when he went in, I knew he was going to score the other night, not because I'm a genius, because this kid's too tough and runs too hard not to.
That's right.
Everett, let's do a few fun things. 15 years. You're a lifer.
Yes, sir.
That's a bad term maybe to use, but he is at Jackson Christian. Your favorite sports memory?
Probably getting to play on the field with my brothers. And another cool thing is I have 2 older brothers. Graham had number 10 from freshman to senior year, and then when he graduated, he handed it down to Campbell, and he wore it for 3 years. And then when he graduated, he handed it down to me. So I'm the last one to get to keep that going.
Maybe we better retire that jersey
Could
after
be.
all of that. You never know about it. And, of course, your favorite football moment at Jackson Christian. It's an interesting one because I had a player when I was still coaching football as an assistant that did this about 20 years ago. Actually, it's more than 20 years now. But tell them what your football moment is before games.
Before every game, I like to play chess against other players. Ever since the club started at school, I was in the chess club, and then I just brought the chessboard down to the field house, and we would play and stuff, and it was a tradition, and I kept it going, and that's what it's been.
Good tradition with a lot of focus involved. Your favorite class at school?
Government.
Yeah, absolutely. You look like a good government man. Favorite food both at school and away from school? And I think you got multiple ones, don't you?
Yes, sir. I mean, I don't eat school. I don't eat at school a whole lot, but if I did, I would have to say Miss Angie's cookies. I don't know if that really counts as like the food.
No, it
but
counts. That's good stuff
and
right
then,
there.
Of course, chicken, and then pizza, and my favorite like candy, you could say, is Mike and Ike's. So I'm a big fan of those.
Your favorite Bible verse?
It would be Colossians 3:17.
Absolutely. Now, a couple of things. What other sport? I know which sport, but you tell everybody what you play.
Baseball.
Absolutely, and a darn good one at that too. Your hobbies?
Like I said, I like playing chess, and then I'm a big hat guy, so I have like a hat collection. And another cool thing is after every single game, my dad takes pictures, and we like to go home and relive the memories, looking back at it, telling the stories of what happened in that moment. And that's just pretty cool. Getting to go back
and you've
and
got
forth.
a neat, fun fact about you. Tell them what that is.
I'm double jointed and very, very flexible.
You're like the Indian rubber man or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I could put my legs behind my head, so.
Oh, me, I'm hurting, Coach, from him. What a fine young man. I'm going to miss him and his whole family next year. You sure we can't find another one to come on or something? But it's your turn to talk to all the
Before, can I steal a second?
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and do this while we have him on. Everett was voted as our Allison Insurance Group Player of the Week on the Jackson Christian Football Twitter poll against Austin, up with some teammates there, Austin and Easton, and I believe we had almost 30 votes on that. And so while he was on the air, Coach, I didn't want to cut you off, but wanted to share that with our audience watching tonight. So congrats, Everett, on that. That's really cool.
You did better by doing that instead of us coming back and doing it in the next second. Congratulations from me. Well deserved. I want to see another touchdown now.
Yes, sir.
You can do that. And like I said, did you get finished with what you wanted to say to the fans?
Basically just be kind, be nice fans, keep coming out, enjoy it, getting to see y'all in the stands and stuff, and the atmosphere is always fun, very fun.
Absolutely. There he is, a fine young man. Told y'all he was. We're going to come back and wrap up. We've already had a good show. Coach Bullard and I, we're just kind of the extras up to this point. You've heard some great young men, and we've had a lot of fun. We'll be back after this timeout from Hub City Deli.
This is Lee Johnson.
And this is Jason Lockridge from Southern Capital Advisors.
We're thankful for the Jackson Christian family and are honored to help lay a foundation that will build our community for years to come.
Welcome to Southern Capitol Field, and go Eagles.
We are back for the conclusion, and Coach, I don't know, we can follow all the goodness. Aren't those wonderful young men? But we've got to refocus ourselves because we've got an important region ball game against a team that we go to their house. They're undefeated, and yeah, we beat them last year at our house, but they're tougher at their house than they are on the road.
Yeah, and the thing you can bank on when you go to Tipton Rosemark is something crazy is going to happen. It's going to rain when it's not supposed to, lightning delay, or something crazy will happen. You got a long walk there to the field. It's just it's a good home field advantage for them, and they always do a great job with on their game day with their operations and things like that. We were just over there for a JV game, and so the preparation. We talked about this a little bit before last week. You have 4 really good teams scheduled non-region to try to prep yourself for this run that we're on. And we started off I call it, and we kind of talk about it as a new season. Now you're in the region. Now you're playing for playoff seeding. Now it's these games really matter. And so start off 1-0, and now you're going to Tipton. And we talked about this to our guys today. They're 5-0. They're hungry. Yep. They're winning football games, and regardless of any circumstance or anything, it's hard to win every single game you play. And to this point, they have done that, and so we have to take our preparation very serious, and going up against this offense, it only takes one person kind of being out of position, and they can hit big plays on you. And so credit our second team guys, our scout team guys, for giving us a look with that, because it's hard to replicate at times, because it is unorthodox if you don't run it every day. And so right now we're just trying to get the fits. We're trying to see where we're weak, all those things, where we have numbers, where we don't, and credit our guys for kind of battling through. Sometimes Tuesdays are a little bit of a grind. Monday's more of a mental day. Tuesday's kind of that first work day, and so we had a pretty good practice there today.
Got to rep it and polish it on Wednesdays, right? And especially the polish.
Yeah, you gotta you see what you did on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you want to clean it up. You go more team. For us, everybody does it different, but we go more team periods, seeing more plays, because the more you can see it, the more our linebackers can read it, the more our eagle can see it, the better chance you know in a game, if they're in this, what we hope they're going to run, and be prepared in those things.
Well, it's like last year, folks. Remember when Middle Tennessee Christian came to our house, and it's a formation much like it. They run the true single wing. They also run the double wing with a wide out, which you can run. And when you think of double wing, you think of like the one that Fayette ran, but they don't put their quarterback under center. And a lot of times, Nick Fullen, 22, gets a direct snap, and 17, the other Fullen actually blocks for him. And they have a guy named DeLuco that I think is their leading pass catcher. They don't throw many, but they're effective. Fullen has had, the other Fullen, Jackson Fullen, has had a couple of games where he's like 6 for 7, 7 for 9, and things like that. That's pretty high percentage.
Yeah, you can't fall asleep in the back half of the defense. You have to read your keys and understand that you're pass first in those instances, and then you got to come up and feel. And the big thing is you got to get them on the ground. Those guys run hard. Their offensive line gets after it up front. They're trying to outnumber you, and you have to come up, and we have to tackle as a team, which we've done pretty well.
Yeah.
We had some lapses Friday night, and Coach Palmer hit on that. That's going to happen. But in this offense, with the ball being a little bit hard to find sometimes you got to tackle people and get them on the ground and run to the football, get 11 hats there. Just continue to do what we do. It's just against a different style.
Absolutely. It's going to be who wins at the point of attack. They want to get more people than we get there, and obviously we still got other keys. We're 7-3 all time against Tipton Rosemark. We're winners of 3 straight in the series, and those are nice stats, but you know what, that doesn't mean anything for Friday night. It's who performs, who functions. We must play disciplined football.
Yeah, and every week I say it, and it might be cliche to people, but we pray it before the game, and we're thankful for an opportunity because, not everybody gets to do this. Not everybody gets to be a part of a 5-0 football team that, just coming off a really good homecoming and a good win. But, you have to move on. You have to put that in the past, and new challenges come. And as coaches, we start that almost immediately on Friday nights. But, the kids enjoy it a little bit longer, in which they should. And that's what they're supposed to do. It's our job to go back in and get ready and start preparing for the next one. And then come Monday, you're flipping that switch to your next opponent. And so it's just an opportunity that we can come out and play together. I'm excited to see how we grow from one week to the next, and everything. Now you're gearing up. You're gearing up for the postseason. Never looking ahead, but know what's at stake and what you're playing for.
Absolutely. We build it 1 week at a time. We focus only on Tipton Rosemark, who has moved into the Milan Mirror Exchange rankings at number 12 in West Tennessee. But we're a good football team. We want you, the fans, to have the positive mental attitude. We're going to have the positive mental attitude. We proved that at Good Pasture when we come back from a Murphy's Law game where if anything could go wrong, and it did, we still had the fortitude to come back. And we're dealing with a lot of fine young men, fine coaches, and we love you fans too. Coach, we are getting closer to being out of time. Your final comments.
Yeah, I was just checking my message, seeing Blake walk in with Jaslyn made me think of this. I got a text a little bit ago. The Elementary Eagles win 8-6, Coach. Get the score and the 2-point conversion there. And then an interception to end the game. And so down 6-0, get a big interception from what I understand, a long run, and able to, go over there and pull out a close game. And so it's a good start to the week. I don't have a soccer update for everybody. So hopefully they're playing well. Volleyball, big win. We can recap that. Big win over Chester County. Middle school cross country doing a great job there, coached by Miss Stephanie Fenton, and so a lot of good things happening. Yeah. And
you get to see Miss Stephanie when you come into the office.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You can't get in the building without seeing her and talking with her, and so she does a tremendous job. And I think it's awesome to have women like her working with our athletes, spiritual. Bringing all the work ethic, all those things into a sport that I couldn't get into.
Absolutely.
But if there's a sport that teaches perseverance and overcoming fatigue and all those things, cross country has got to be it. And so very proud of them. Excited. I know our band had a great competition this past weekend, and I saw them on my way over here. Those folks put in more hours than anybody during their marching season, so we're very proud of them. Small in numbers, but they go out and put on a great show. And so we're just – this is a busy time of year, but it's an awesome time of year for Jackson Christian athletics and extracurricular activities.
And for everybody in the office at Jackson Christian, all the coaches, including our head coach, Darby Palmer, for Gary, one of the greatest producers in the world, Brian, who is always, he could host this show without me. And the man that writes the checks, we always take care of him that way. Paul Schultz, the executive producer, who's been working 2 broadcasts, including this one. But, Gary, thank you, because you actually put the work out. He's just the brains of the outfit. But for all of the Eagles and Blake Beckham over there who's figuring right now, I guarantee you he's working on something. We want to say thank you for listening to the best high school show in the nation, and I love it. Brian?
Hub City Deli. Taking care of our athletes and providing them with a meal, which is awesome.
Absolutely. So it's time to remind you this is a copyright broadcast. Any retransmission or further use of this is prohibited. Thanks for your time this time. Till next time. Good night, all.
The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports.
The Jackson Rockabilly, Union and Bethel Universities, USJ, TCA, JCS, and Peabody.
Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers.
Thanks to the sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.